We are back at it on the Redcat Machete 6S. I am going to be doing some mild upgrades, possible improvements. I'm going to be putting some 20 million weight center diff fluid in this. I'm not going to go to earplugs. I know a lot of people go to earplugs, but I did put earplugs in other stuff I have, and ultimately it ended up breaking the front and rear diffs. Could have been other factors that caused that, but I just noticed right after I put that in that my diffs broke. I don't think either I might have packed it too tight and it just didn't have enough give, so when the front or the rear wheels landed, it ended up busting the diffs up. So I'm just going to put the 20 million in there. It's probably going to be thicker than what's in there. And the other thing before we get this thing started, I realized that I did not mention where I got this truck from. I like to support local hobby shops as much as I can, and I got this truck from Lebanon Valley Hobbies out in Lebanon, Pennsylvania. I did attach a link in the first video in the description, and I'll also attach another link in the description below as well. And because I like to support local, since Lebanon's a little bit far from where I'm at, I went out to the local hobby shop. I got that diff fluid, and then I also got the special tool that you need. So for this one, you need a 50 thousandths socket, and they don't come in most of your kits, but you need this to remove the center drive shaft. You gotta take that off to get that whole motor, everything, assembly out of the truck. So that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna take that all out of there. I also picked up a different size pinion gear, so I'm gonna change out that center diff fluid. I'm gonna change out the pinion gear, and then we're going to go back out and see if that improved the truck at all. And then also see if that pinion gear adds a little bit of top speed to it. So I'm going to get done talking. Let's get wrenching. All right, flipping it over. So that's the motor assembly. Now, like what I might end up doing is I might put something underneath the motor itself, between the motor and the chassis here, especially if I'm going to do some big high tall jumps. I'm going to definitely put something under there to support the back of this, but for now it should be all right. So to get the motor off, because we're going to be changing that pinion gear there, I think we'll see if I have something that'll work. There's 2 screws on the top, 1 screw on the bottom. Those are 2.5 millimeter screws, and so far they haven't rounded off, so take those off. I'm probably going to put a little bit of Loctite on there because this bottom one was a little bit loose. So this has a 16 tooth pinion, and they run kind of like the Arma setup. It looks like they've got a D-shaped pinion on there. So this has a 16. I think I have an 18 and a 19, so I'm probably going to throw, I also have a 17, so I think I'm going to throw the 18 on there and see what that's like. So that's what I'm going to do. Again, I'm just going to gear it up a little bit. And there's the motor out. So far this motor's been pretty good. Like I said, it wasn't getting hot when I was running it, so I'm going to gear this up just a little bit. To get to the differential, I just got to take these screws out here. This cover will come off, and then I'll have access to the differential. This is kind of a pain that you need a 50 thousandths bit to get this in there, but the screw itself doesn't look like it's going to be the issue. That's a pretty decent sized screw there, so it should be able to handle the power. It's just, I just didn't know I had to get a 50 thousandths bit. So if you're looking to do something like this or change this stuff out, yeah, you're definitely going to have to get one of these to do that. So what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to go around to truck 2. I'm going to take the other pins out of here. Since I have access to them easily, I can get to the front one here, and I can get to the back one through this little access hole here. Just going to take them out, throw Loctite on them, and then that way I'll have just a little bit of extra added security. But yeah, this differential is, I could spin that by hand. So that definitely needs to be thickened up for sure. Alright, so I took this cover off here. So I'm careful, there's a bearing in here. See if it comes out. So this bearing fell out. There's actually a little spacer on the back side of that bearing. Just make sure that you get that in here, into the case and centered. Just like a shim almost. So if the bearing does come out, just make sure that you don't drop that and lose that, or you go to put it back together and find it lying there. That would be bad. But bearing there. So I thought this was, so this is just an idler. This is what the pinion gear rides on, this idler, and then over to the actual differential itself. So then there's just a bearing on each side of the diff here. It sits in this cover here. They're probably going to fall out when I go to put it back together, so you probably want to put the bearing on this stuff, but I'll figure that one out, put it back together. So I found out I only have a 19 tooth. I think I shredded my 18 tooth because that was on my X-Max. I think I shredded that one already, so I just have a 19 tooth I'm going with. So I'm going up 3 teeth, which it's not a crazy change. It'll probably go 50 miles an hour now with this setup here, maybe even faster. Again, my only goal with this is to just be able to do one wheelie off, or to be able to do a wheelie as well as be able to flip the truck at least once, at least be able to get a flip out of it. If I can do that, then I'll be happy. And then I'm just going to run it with that gearing and just occasionally check the motor temps, see how hot it's getting. If it's getting too hot, then obviously I'll gear it back down, but it's not a super big change. I'm only going up 3 teeth, but yeah, we'll have to see. So as long as it does what I want it to do, then I'll be happy. But yeah, I'm going to take the differential apart and see what's going on in there. So they do run I believe that's a plastic composite. That's a composite housing on this differential. I think on prolonged runs, you're probably going to run into issues. This will probably get hot, start to distort. So I'm sure there's probably going to be a metal upgrade for that, but I haven't had any issues with it now, but I also haven't run it extremely long. Only 2 battery packs through it so far. So that's yet to be seen, but I'm going to take it apart, see what kind of oil's in here, and then like I said, I'm putting the 20 million weight fluid in there, and hopefully that stiffens it up more, because yeah, I can just hold that and spin that there. There's very little in the way of resistance in there. So all right, so there's some fluid in there, but not very much, and that's why I think it's just sending the power to the path of least resistance. I mean, that's pretty dry in there. I mean, there's fluid in there, so the gears aren't completely bone dry, but yeah, it's pretty dry in there. And then after we pack that 20 million in there, yeah, this is going to be much stiffer than it is. So the way I clean this stuff, I've got just an old fruit cup and a toothbrush, and then I put just rubbing alcohol in the fruit cup here, and then I'm just going to let them soak, scrub them off with the brush, and then get everything nice and clean, and then put the 20 million in there. All right, nice and dry, clean, everything. I believe this has a little bleed hole on the back here, so I'm going to leave that open. I'm just going to pack this full of the, basically, it's almost earwax. I mean, it's pretty thick stuff in there. So I'm just going to jam this 20 million in here, and then we're going to sandwich everything back together, reassemble this, and then the next video you're going to see is us tearing this thing up. Hopefully it does a wheelie and a backflip. If it does that, then this will be a successful day. All right, real 4-wheel drive. Now we've got something. Let's go tear it up. Whoopsie. Oh, she wants to go now. That 19 toother really woke her up. We'll see. All right, so I still have the braking at 75%. Oh yeah, that was it. Oh, now she wants to pull the front wheels. Oh yeah, I think 19 tooth was the secret. Now let's see how fast she goes. So we're at 23 miles an hour right now. I'm just gonna hit it just like I did yesterday, and we'll see if it goes better. Whoa! Try that again. So the braking's not as aggressive now that it's four-wheel drive, actual four-wheel drive. Oh boy! All right, I lied. The braking is still aggressive. That was a crash. 53, baby! All right. So we went from 46 to 53. So she's cogging a bit. So probably a little aggressive on the pinion for this motor setup here, but so I got 53 out of it now. I'm sure I could get better. But let's see how she does ripping around here. And now she does wheelies. See if it'll do a wheelie when I punch it. Oh yeah, I think they geared up a little bit too much. Let me feel that. Let me feel the motor. Either I have it geared up too high or I don't have the mesh set right. Nah, nothing's crazy warm. It's just cogging a little bit. Might have the mesh set a little bit too tight. Oh yeah, she wants to go. Now I think I need to mess around with the rear and the front diff fluids. So what I might try doing this thing's got some power now. So 53 for now. Sweet. It wants to actually do a wheelie now, which is even cooler. Yeah, I think I'm gonna definitely have to. Yeah, I don't know, it's cogging for some reason, so typically that means you got it either geared too tall or possibly I just have the mesh. I want to go in reverse. Let's see. Won't go in reverse. Now everything's on there. Everything's on there and tight. And the motor's not, it's not hot. I can touch it with my finger. It's not crazy hot. Let me try a reset here. See if it goes in reverse. I wonder if I have, let me try something. That's weird. There we go. I don't know, reverse wouldn't work there for a second. I don't know what's going on there. But when I reversed the controller, it was working fine. So I think it's possibly something in the controller maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's just a fluke. But now it's working. I wonder if we can get it to, yeah, for some reason. Just a heavy delay between forward and reverse for some reason. Can we get it up on two wheels? Yeah, those diffs are definitely, I can get it up on two wheels, but I can't keep it there because I think these diffs are just too crappy. Or not crappy, they're just too open, I should say. All right, now will you do a backflip? No, I think I need bigger tires. I think that front bumper is just hitting and it's not allowing it to climb. Nope, won't do it. Won't do it off the fence. At least it'll do wheelies now. That's wheelie cool. All right, let's take it off the ramp and see if we can get it to possibly backflip. No, but it does have a little bit more control. I couldn't do that yesterday. At least I have a little control. So probably bigger tires. Yeah, that's nice. So now at least if it hits it, it's not gonna struggle to self level itself out. Oh, this thing's a blast with the 19 tooth on it now. That was a slammer. What an improvement that made. I have to figure out the cogging issue. I put my hand on the motor and it wasn't hot at all. I mean, this thing's got a massive heat sink on it with a fan as well. It wasn't hot at all. I mean, it got a little warm, I would say, but nothing that should cause that kind of cogging. So I mean, it only did it a couple times, so maybe I have the gear mesh set too tight, maybe something in the ESC. Like I said, I don't know. You guys can tell me what typically causes cogging. I was told, you know, I was always told it's just a hotter motor. With the motor getting hot can cause that stuff, but like I said, I don't know. Maybe, like I said, I'm gonna loosen up the gear mesh a little bit, see if that helps. But aside from that, I mean, this thing ran great. You know, that took a big crash there. It actually dug a really good divot in the ground and nothing broke. I know everything's still like it was when I got it, just a little bit dirtier. Bottom side's still good. Oh, yeah, bottom side's still good. Definitely got to do something about these open differentials. The oil in there is really thin as well. Yeah, I definitely got to do something about that, because as soon as you get it up on two wheels, it just stops going. So probably gonna thicken up the oil in those front and rear diffs. I'll save that for the next time. But putting that, you know, thicker weight oil in the center diff, what an improvement. Now it actually has true four-wheel drive. Gearing it up that little bit, this thing wanted to pull wheelies. Like I said, this now the truck is woken up. So it's running a lot better. Still won't do backflips, but I think with bigger tires, I'll be able to get that wheel speed up enough that I can get it to rotate. But still, at least it got halfway there. So we're about 50% better on the backflip. Still won't do a backflip off the fence. I still think that's funny. But I don't know. I haven't had any issues with the truck yet. I know a bunch of you are commenting saying that stuff's going to break, like the upper control arm, but upper control arms are still rock solid. As you can see, I just showed you, but they are all still rock solid. Nothing has broken. So I don't know if that gives you confidence to buy it, but there it is. Like, I'm not experiencing any of those problems on this thing yet. The only issue that I do see coming, and somebody had asked in the comments about, you know, will this handle 8S power? I think the truck might. Like, the differentials look strong enough. You know, that stuff all looks strong enough. The axles look strong enough. I think the problem you're going to have right now is going to be these drive shafts. And I don't know how well the GoPro is going to pick this up, but the drive shafts are starting to twist, like, ever so slightly. I don't know if you could see it in the video, but I have a feeling those things are going to break eventually. They're definitely starting to twist. So that's where I think the weak spot is going to be on this truck. So if Redcat themselves are watching this video, hopefully they either, you know, do something about that or have an upgrade for that. You know, a lot of time, I think this is aluminum, and I don't think it should be. So if they would go to, you know, a stronger steel, or possibly give us an option to just put drive cups and dog bones on here, I think that would be a better option as well. But for now, nothing has broken yet, so that's yet to be seen if I actually break something. But I'm loving the truck. I'm loving the comments, guys. Keep them coming. Again, like I said, anything you want to see, just let me know. Like I said, I love working on these RCs. I think it's fun. I can do it inside where it's warm, so it doesn't bother me if I have to take something apart. Like I said, I will be taking the front and rear differentials off of this, and I will be changing the diff fluid at some point. Probably just topping it up, because if it's anything like that center diff where there was no oil in there, or very little oil in there, I probably just have to get something like 50,000 or 100,000. You know, I don't know what I'm going to go with yet. I might wait and see if somebody puts out another video and, you know, see what they do and see what results they get. But definitely change out that center diff fluid. That is a must do. And if you want to, you know, you can up the gear ratio, you know, a bit of bigger pinion. But like I said, truck's running good for me. Hey, thanks for checking out the video, guys. We'll see you in the next upload. Ooh. Okay, maybe we just don't hold the camera and film at the same time anymore. Word to the wise, don't crash into a pole. It broke beyond this point here. Yeah, they can't handle that stuff. We're gonna need some parts. If you honestly think I'm gonna let a broken control arm stop me, you don't know me too well.